Wow, for our person of interest, we hope you're amazed once again. That was a video where you had one of the world's fastest speed painters, Vilas Nayak, actually painting out our TPC logo, and he did that, as you saw, in a very, very tight time period. He hails from Bangalore and he started painting at just 3. Fast forward to today and he splashed his way to becoming one of the most sought after speed painting artists in the entire world.
Yeah, he's quite famous. In fact, you must have seen it in India's Got Talent, where he wowed the nation as one of the finalists, or perhaps even caught him during Asia's Got Talent. His performance painted the town red, literally, from dazzling the likes of Shah Rukh Khan, Dalai Lama, sports legends like Pele, Lewis Hamilton, Sachin Tendulkar. Whether it's for the Indian Armed Forces, ISRO, or events in 36 countries around the globe, or just for TBC, he's pretty much out there making sure that he wows people with not just painting fast but painting in really quirky ways. So we had to get him on the show to understand more about that, and I think we have him now, right?
Right, let's go over to him, let's ask him some questions. Vilas, firstly, thank you for taking out the time to paint out our logo for us. It's not too often that we get to see something like that. You started painting, we were telling our audiences, at 3. But becoming a painter full-time as an Indian, ye to thoda mushkil hai, convincing your parents entirely, all of that. How did you go about it? Or did you sort of become a painter full-time as you were already an adult?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me here on the show. Yeah, rightly said. I started sketching at the age of 3, as Pablo Picasso said, right? I mean, every child is an artist. The challenge is how to remain an artist once you grow up. So I started very young. For me, I lived in a village. It's called Ujire in Mangalore district back then. There was a lot of greenery around, and I was so inspired by the nature around me, and that inspired me to sketch and paint. Continued throughout my childhood, school and college days. Unfortunately, I was good in academics as well, so I was a rank holder throughout. So you know how during 90s especially, in an Indian village, people were like, okay, what will you do as an artist, taking it up as a full-time profession? Why don't you just go and work somewhere, because you're anyways good in studies? So that was the dilemma that I had, but I continued through that phase, and I moved to Mysore, because Mysore I thought will give me some scope to improve my artwork. I got a chance to perform at the Dasara festival there. So my first ever, I remember, speed painting performance was in 2004. So now we are in 2024. It's exactly 20 years of practice that you see on the canvas now. I started with a very small canvas, taking a lot of time. I used to take like 15 minutes to complete a small canvas on the stage, because I was also very introvert kid back then. For me, going on stage itself was a huge challenge to face the audience. Now I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah. So Vilas, the wow factor about your painting is not just the fact that you're a great artist, and not only the fact that you do it with speed, but you do it upside down, you do it blindfolded, you throw different things at it, and then there is this magic factor that really comes on board. So what exactly is getting all of this going? The idea really is to wow people with things which have never been seen before.
Yeah, because if I'm on stage, performing for, let's say, 20-25 minutes of time, I do one painting, and how do I keep the audience glued to my canvas? It's only by going to the next level. So I was thinking what else I can do. So I started doing upside down. It was quite challenging at the beginning, but then I study the picture upside down and do it. Wearing a mask is one of the technique. One more thing that I also do is like doing a puzzle painting. So rather than painting in one canvas, I create painting in 4 different canvases in a puzzle manner, and then put it all together and it looks like one picture. But something that I really also enjoy is doing a jugalbandi with a musician or a singer or a dancer. So it's very beautiful when you have another live performer right next to you, and then you do that jugalbandi. I'm painting and they're singing or dancing, and I think it creates a beautiful experience to the audience.
What is something, Vilas, take us behind the scenes, what is something people don't realize though about the kind of effort that you're putting in to reach the level of perfection you're at?
Well, they don't realize that there's a lot of thing going on in my head. You know, it could be as simple as, look, I have actually set the minute for a music track, let's say for 4 minutes. So I know that, okay, now it is 3.5 minutes and I have just another 30 seconds to go. But then the painting is not completed yet. I may need, let's say, another 1 minute to go. So, you know, I'm actually racing against the time to complete that painting, but the audience doesn't know that. Sometimes what will also happen is I have made few mistakes. The audience may or may not know that, but as an artist, I know that that's a mistake. So I have to continue with all these thoughts in my mind at the same time, you know, as if nothing is happening and everything is going fine. Also, there's a lot of, a lot of strength, stamina that you require, because, you know, this is like, you need a lot of energy to pick the paint, get up, you know, dance around, do all that stuff in a matter of a couple of minutes. So yeah, I say that, you know, this is actually like playing 2020 cricket as against doing a fine artwork in your studio, which is more like playing test cricket.
Yeah. It actually is a full workout with both your hands working. You are dancing around the canvas and on stage as well. But tell us a particularly challenging piece of work or particularly memorable piece of work that you've done so far.
I think, you know, I have had all kind of experiences, but I think something that really stands out is I think this was during 2009, before I could do all those reality shows. So obviously nobody knew who this guy was on stage, and I was made to perform at a metal festival in Bangalore, and I was put up on stage just before the final act was about to happen. And I think people were quite furious to see that, okay, there is this guy who is going to paint on stage and all that stuff. So they actually started booing me, and I was like, should I actually continue? I'm painting and I can actually hear people literally shouting at me, and I continued through that, and in a matter of 3 minutes everything changed, because they realized that I was actually painting Jimi Hendrix upside down, and I turned the painting upside down. The entire like 15,000 odd audience, they completely overjoyed, they clapped for me and all that stuff. So I think this was a amazing experience, how you can actually turn around a crowd in a matter of 3 minutes through your talent.
How cool. Yeah. Tell us, you know, not many people get to say they've been given a football by Pele, which I thought was really, really cool. Can you just tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, I was really lucky to get an opportunity to perform for the football legend Pele, and you know, to my surprise, he was sitting like literally right next to me when I was on stage performing. So he was watching me from a very close quarters, and I completed the painting. I did it upside down, turned it around and kept it. He was so kind enough, you know, like I got him to the painting, he signed it, and he actually gifted a football signed, and I still have it in my house, proudly, you know, cherishing it. I think I'm totally blessed to have got that opportunity.
Tell us a little bit about your charity work. We believe a lot of causes you look into as well. So how exactly does that work, and what are these causes that you're working for?
So I do a lot of perform at a lot of charity events, you know, like it could be raising funds for the education of children. I've done a lot of events to raise funds for the cancer patients.